Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you want to know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won. For all things Miami, it's Dolphins Thursday.
Hello, Miami Dolphins fans. It's a football Friday, but in South Florida, it's a fantastic football Friday as the Miami Dolphins get set to take on the Philadelphia Eagles in prime time action on Sunday Night Football on NBC. We would get to see who Chris Collinsworth like more. Is he going to be a Jalen Hurts fanboy, or is Tua going to make him a Tua fanboy? We're going to find out. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fins up Sunday night. We're going to have a good time watching. The only thing that stinks about Sunday Night Football, as a die-hard Dolphin fan, is I got to wait all day for the Dolphins to play. But, get allowed to get other stuff done. Good morning. Thank you for coming in so early, Sahar H. Fins up to you. Thank you. We are having so much fun this year. Every day has a nickname. You are right, hooked up, Joe, and thank you again for coming in the show. I just saw you over at Miss Fins. Guys, go check out Miss Fins. She always puts up great content. She recently hit 1,000 subscribers, but if you're not joined over there, go make sure you hit up Miss Fins. Always brings the A game every day, just about. She comes on. And every time she comes on, she brings her A game. Don't get my words twisted around. But she comes on just about every day during the week. A lot of fun over there on Miss Fins. So, guys, like I say, this is a good time to be a Dolphin fan. Let's just enjoy it. As the old-time Dolphin fan that always, knows that something may go wrong, I'm just enjoying each week. It's a fun offensive show that we've been watching this year. Just, what can I say other than that? And there was a lot of debate on social media. What a surprise, a debate on social media about whether Mike McDaniel handled the response right on whether another quarterback would do what Tua's doing. To me, McDaniel answered it perfectly. He, basically said, jokingly said, I'm going to knock the podium over, meaning it's basically a dumb question. Of course, Tua's doing great, but didn't even say who the F cares, and he said, who the F. He did say who the F. He didn't drop the F bomb. He said, who the F cares. And I don't know what more you want from your coach, because it is a team game. So I like the answer that he gave. This week, though, against the Philadelphia Eagles, this is the one when before the season, like I said, I'm not a big guy that looks at the schedule and saying win, loss, but I will look at it and say, ooh, that's going to be a tough one. Oh, we should, if all things go right, we should be able to come out on top of that one. But I'm never going to win, loss, because really none of us know. And if we all knew, we would just run to Vegas and bet on every single game that we knew who was going to win, who was going to lose, and none of us would work and all of that good stuff. So, none of us really know. But we all do look at the schedule, and we do make some predictions. And this is the game I looked and say, okay, the Eagles game is going to be a tough game. And Cap for Life, you're in the house once again. Thank you for coming back. Make sure you nail that. Fins up, thumbs up. You guys rock. But yeah, so, at the beginning of this, you're going to look. And this 3-week stretch, was a tough stretch. We got of course, we got the Eagles this week. Then we're at home against New England. Not saying we should win, but we should win. And then we got Kansas City. So in those 3 weeks, if you go 3-0, hey, then you're playing with house money. But if you go 2-1, I'm of the thing I would hope that wins against New England and Kansas City. But of course, we all want to be 3-0. Don't think I'm saying I don't want to be 3-0. I want to win every game. But as far as importance for conference and all that, the Patriots game is actually more important than the Eagles game, because it's a division game. That's a tie-breaking. And it's a conference game. That's a tiebreaker at the end of the year. So there's all kinds of things. But of course, over the next 3 weeks. But Kansas City is the one, because they're the big dogs, not only in the NFL, they're the big dogs in the AFC until someone knocks them off. So that's the team you really want to beat. because then that's a tiebreaker. Head to head is the first tiebreaker they do. So if you both finish with the same record at the end of the year, guess what? The South Florida game, well, I mean, the playoff game will be in South Florida and not going into Arrowhead, which we avoid in the regular season this year by going over to Germany. So there's a lot of things. But of course, I want the Dolphins to win every game. But realistically, it's hard to believe we're going to go 16-1. So looking at it from a logical standpoint, there's some more. If you're going to have to drop one of the next 3 games, I would rather drop the Eagle game. Granted, I don't want to get smacked down like Buffalo smacked us down. But as long as you're competitive and you play well, in the end of the day, it's a non-conference game if you have to lose one. But like I said, I want them to win them all. Don't get me wrong. I want them to win them all. But just from a logical standpoint, there's more important games on the docket. Amazing how Ellison been interviewed has now created a scheme that every NFL QB would be successful in. I know, Scotty. I love those. I love those takes and stuff. And it's silly take, and I liked his response. I really did like his response. And some people are saying, "Oh, he didn't say," but he took the team response. Because if he says, "Yeah, only Tua could do it," then if Tua gets hurt, then what? The season's over. I mean, what's he supposed to say? So I mean, to me, he did the perfect response. I liked his answer. So yes, and hey, good morning, Pam. Good morning. It was such a super pleasure meeting you this past Saturday at Bowl Campers over in Fort Lauderdale. It was super duper. And I always throw a super duper as being a Dolphin fan. What can I say? I have to throw a super duper from my days of watching Mark Duper. And yes, Scotty and Hooked Up Joe, we're both over on Miss Fins, like I said earlier. Make sure if you haven't already done so, run over to Miss Fins and tackle that subscribe button. But don't run yet. Run after you watch my show and make sure they hit the fins up. But you get what I mean. Hey, good morning again, Papa Paul. He's another one that was over there in the Miss Fins. So Papa, good morning. I'm going to drop a link for anyone that wants to join because as you can see, I'm flying solo this morning. So I will drop the link. I'm getting some of the big heavy hitters in the room this morning. Let's see. There you go, guys. There's a link if any of you guys want to join the show this morning. You are more than welcome to come join the show. But like I was saying, I want to win all the games. Every single game, I want the Miami Dolphins to win. I never go into a game saying, well, whatever. If they lose, I want them to win. I'm going to be yelling at the TV. I'm going to be doing all the stuff I always do on the road games. And if I'm at the game at home, I'm screaming and I'm yelling saying, go Dolphins. And Pam is on record saying she's always the loudest one in her section at the stadium. So we all feel the same. We want them to win every game. But I was just saying, from a logical standpoint, it's, hey, here comes Pam speaking. Hey, good morning, Pam. Thank you.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having me up.
Yeah. Hey, no, it was awesome. And it was awesome meeting you in person this past weekend. I mean, it was amazing. Hey, Bobby. Sorry. Bobby. Finally got to meet Bobby in person at the Fins Talk Sports Network after doing almost 2 years of shows on his channel, the Fins Talk Sports Network. Got to meet him. It was an awesome experience. Steve.
He is such a nice guy, too.
Yeah,
I just loved meeting him as well.
Yeah,
enjoyed him and his crew.
Yeah, his whole crew, man, his whole crew was awesome. And good morning, Steve. Steve, I have not met. Him and I have been doing a show every Tuesday night for 2 years on camera to camera, but I've never met him in person. He lives in Houston, Texas. So hopefully he gets to South Florida one day soon too. And here comes Papa Paul.
Hey, Papa Paul.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you, Papa Paul? I had met you once before, but you probably don't remember because you were big Papa Paul. So, I met you at the Xavier Howard softball game. But then this past week,
I remember, but I'm not big Papa Paul. I'm just me.
Hey, but it was up. So I got to meet you a second time. This time we would say at Big Kim Bowl Campers. So I got to meet you over there, and that was a lot of fun. So what are your guys' take? Pam, you got in here first. So what's your take about this Sunday's game against the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia in prime time on Sunday night?
Right. So at the beginning or before the season started, and I was doing, what I thought our record would be, which I was on record saying 13-4. And this was one of the games that I had us losing. Just looking through, right?
Right. No, it makes sense. This is a tough one for sure.
But that was before the season started. That was before I saw that, to me, it looks like Philly is sleepwalking a little bit. Like they're not as sharp as they were last season or as dominant. And it was also before I knew our offense was going to be good. I just don't think I realized it was going to be this good.
Yeah, well, I don't. I agree. I don't think anyone could have realized. I mean, no, it's granted it's only 6 games, but I don't think
Right.
anyone thought we would be paying at this pace for sure, a record-breaking pace.
Right. Well, I mean, if you think about it, we're a little more than 1/3 of the way through the season. So it is only 6 games, but look at what we've done. And when I look at the fact that someone like Tyreek Hill, who was a great player going into the season, has gotten better under this scheme, and the fact that we are winning the games, last season and previous seasons for a long time, we'd go in and not win the games we were supposed to, the so-called easy games. And I don't
Correct.
think there is any easy games in the NFL.
I
But
yeah.
so instead of going now, I mean, I'm not sure that I'm far off about 13-14. I'm like you, 16-1 sounds wonderful. But, to be realistic, I don't think it's completely realistic, but I do believe that not only can we, but we will win this game Sunday night.
Yep, no, it's true, Pam. And the one thing you touched on before I get some other people, we got hooked up Joe that's entered in here. But another thing on what you touched on, that we're beating the teams that we're supposed to beat, but not like in the past when we did beat those teams. It was like at the end we would maybe kick a field goal and we're like, whoa, when's a win? We're actually beating the teams. I mean, when I say beat, we're actually beating the teams where you don't even feel like, yeah, we were all scared for a minute against the Panthers when they got up 14-0. But in the past, we would have been like, oh no. But most of us probably felt like, okay, the Dolphins will come back and win this game. And they did.
Yes,
Took a little wake up
exactly.
call. Sometimes you need a little knock in the mouth to wake up, and they got knocked in the mouth. They woke up and then they ran off 35 straight points before giving them the gift pick 6 there at the end of our backup quarterback. Anyway, hooked up Joe.
And we're making records, right? We're breaking records as a team. Players are breaking records. I mean, you can't hope for more than that.
Mozart's at 11 touchdowns combined between rushing and catching. I mean, it's just a fun team to watch, And Papa Paul, hook up Joe. I'll get to you in a minute. Papa Paul, welcome. So what's your take on this Sunday night game against the Eagles?
Well, it's going to be a tough game, I think, but I agree with Pam. Philadelphia is not the same team they were last year. They do look a little bit slacking compared to last year. But I think it's going to be a 1-score game. I have us winning at 35-28. It's going to be a 1-score game. People are worried about not having Armstead, not having Connor Williams. We're not sure if he's playing yet or not. But if you look at it last week, Eichenberg, I mean, granted, Carolina's not the best team, but their defense is not a bad defense.
They have some stars on defense.
Yeah,
they do.
And Eichenberg had the highest PFF grade in passing and rushing for the offense.
Yeah, no, he definitely stepped up. I still want, with that said, I want Connor Williams back for this game. But yeah.
I agree with you.
I know you know that for sure, but he did.
You gotta people have to realize Eichenberg has never played the center position in his life until this year.
Yeah. No, I know, and it's tough. And to ask that in the NFL, not just like in college or high school, he's asking that in the NFL to step up and play. Lewis, if you guys don't know him, he's a Kansas City fan, but it's okay. He comes in here just like Michael Kay, the Buffalo Bills fans come in here from time to time. But it's okay. We welcome everyone at Dolphins Thirsty. And we'll be getting an answer soon enough, Lewis, when we play you guys over in Germany. So it's all good. We will find out. Yeah, so we will. Yeah, hey, that's gonna be. But we can only worry about what this week game is, and like Papa Paul and Pam said, it's the Eagles this week. So Hooked Up Joe, thank you for joining us today. How are you?
I'm good. And to follow up on the whole thing about playing good opponents, I kind of did some spreadsheets on the opponents and how well the opponents have been doing against their opponents to try to judge what the actual rating of the teams are. And the Eagles held to 66 in rushing, but the teams they played had an average of 92 yards rushing, which is low. When you get everything and you average it out over a 6-week period, things start to really even out, right? So the difference between 110 and 92 yards rushing average over every team that you faced, that shows that the level of competition that they have been playing, especially in the run game, has been bad. We're really going to be the first actual run team they're going to have to go against. And for both of us, it is a statement game in that they haven't really played anybody either. I laid it all out. Passing, rushing,
they are.
None of them are in top 15.
Great. Wow.
And also on
great pick. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah.
One other thing about things evening out by week 6, and you look at all the stats and everybody's close. I was starting to look at things. I did some more. Don't normally do spreadsheets all the time, but I had to see this too. We are a crazy anomaly in the NFL, and it's not just in one category. What I did was I got everybody in the NFL, and I got the team or the person and how much better they are than the next person on the list. Nothing else, right? The difference between 1 and 2 and 3, and everybody's evened out. There's like 0.1, 0.2, or 0.3 of a difference, and then it goes up like 0.8 or 1 or 2 or sometimes 7 in the case of A-Chain, and it's just amazing how much.
I know.
I mean, just
get healthy.
Not even taking into account the competition. We're just so amazing. So,
oh no, I mean, it's like
it's
in the history. Like I said, we're only 6 games. We got a lot of football to play. But in the history since the Super Bowl era, no team has averaged over 5.5 yards per carry. Right now, the Dolphins are averaging a full yard above that, 6.5 yards a carry. Now, is that sustainable over a whole season when the competition steps up and the winter gets here and we have to go into some cooler weather games and teams are stacking up against the run? Who knows? But right now, it's great. We're number 1 at rushing, number 1 at passing, and number 1 at scoring. So no one can say our offense isn't the best offense in the league right now. So I agree with you, but averaging 6.5 yards a carry is insane. And A-Chan was averaging almost 12 yards a carry or 13, some crazy number like that.
It was 11. He was last game he played. It was 12.7. I think it's 11.5 or 11.9.
That's insane. Yes, but it's so much fun to watch. I mean, he is like the Tyreek Hill of the running back spot. It's just like every time he gets the ball, you think he's going to be gone. Just like Mozart, man. He's so much fun, how he hurdled over that guy. And Mozart, I mean, how can you not like the guy, man? He's battled. He wasn't gifted a spot in the NFL. He worked through it, was cut so many times, wasn't even drafted, and he just stuck with it. And at 31 years old, he may be playing like the best running back in football right now. It's crazy. So
AFC Player of the Week. In fact, we've gotten 3 AFC Players of the Week, and it was A-Chain, Tua, and Mostert. Hill has not even gotten Offensive Player of the Week. We got 3 out of 6 Offensive Player of the Week, and none of them are Hill.
I know, isn't that insane? Amazing. I guess people take maybe Hill for granted or whatever, but yeah, it's just Mozart this week was deservingly. I mean, the man scored again. He went up there. And it was awesome, man. He scored 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 1 in the air. He has 11 touchdowns on the year. And Sahar, again, thank you for all your great comments. Don't worry, guys, if I get a little behind, I see your comments. I appreciate your comments. You guys are what make this show go. And I talked up Mike. Okay, I said sometimes I get a Bills fan in here too, and lo and behold, he rolled in. And good morning, Ender. Let's see. So let's see. Lewis says, "Okay, we're proven battle tested. Or you are aware? All right, we'll see. We coming up soon, Lewis. We're coming up soon. So
And what are we though? What are we, Lewis? Perfect. Something you'll never ever be. So
yeah. Yeah, hey, I agree. There's only one team in Perfectville, so hey, I will say
right.
that.
It's still Champagne Wake.
Yes, Michael.
Yep, yep.
Michael K. Yes, he fumbled a couple times against the Bills, but you know what? At the end of the day, that was just one game of many. Michael K.
Yeah,
Last time
I mean-
you're looking up to the Dolphins in the standings, but there's a lot of football to be played. That can change from week to week. I understand that, but hey, and like the Jaguars, they beat you guys. Jaguars, no joke. The AFC is getting tough, man. There's a lot of good teams that are going to have to be reckoned with just to get there. So, hey, RL, another great guy. I'm sure he goes to your guys' shows. He's another great guy. He's awesome to have in here. But yeah, my overall view, guys, is that let's just enjoy it while we're watching what we're watching. It's been a long time. Just a couple of years ago, we had been happy to get a couple first downs in a game. We would like every play was like, 3rd and 2, let's get tougher. Now it's like boom, boom, boom. Let's just enjoy the moment. I don't care about who we played. We played. It's not like college where you pay some team to come in and take a beating. We played who the NFL gave us to play, and we're beating those teams. That's all we can do. And yes, we lost to Buffalo. That's just football. I hope that was our humble pie moment, and we're gonna kick. We haven't lost since then. We didn't let that bring us down. So I think we're good. So any of you guys, Paul, have you changed any of your predictions for the season that you did at the start, or are you still more or less coming in where you came in?
Well, I came in at 12-5. I'm actually went up. I'm looking at 14-3.
Oh wow, I like that.
Yeah.
And is it just because of how the offense is playing, or is it any particular?
Well,
reason?
it's a little bit of everything. It's the offense is playing extremely well, and it's what we have coming back, especially right after bye week and stuff, because we have the late bye week, and as well each week excuse me, I'm trying to multitask, but each week
problem.
the defense has been getting better and better.
Exactly. I agree with Papa Paul on that. I definitely have changed my prediction as well. I'd like to say 15-2. But here's something to think about. If we can win home field advantage for the playoffs, we could actually have a loss simply by sitting players during a game at the end of the season.
Hey, I would love that if it comes down to that. But then Michael K would be bragging because we played Buffalo the last week of the season. But
but if
I hope you're right, Pam, that we got the division wrapped up, home field wrapped up by the time we have to play Buffalo. That'd be great. But
Yeah, so I'm actually predicting that we could have a loss due to that alone. And if that is against Buffalo, then so be it. That's fine. But maybe the backup go in there and, want it real bad. Who knows?
You're right. But hey, I love getting a little bit of cocky Dolphin fans. I love it. Not cocky, but confident Dolphin fans. That's a better use of word.
Yeah, because I'm not a
I
cocky
always
person.
say-
I'm more confident than ever being cocky.
Yeah, that's what I say. I shouldn't say cocky, but confident. I'm confident, but I still, like I tell Pam all the time, I'm waiting for that other shoe to drop. I still have that in the back of my mind. But I'm telling you, if the next 3 weeks we beat the Eagles, we beat New England, and I'm not discounting New England because it's still a must-win game. And Kansas City, if we win those 3 games, then my confidence level is going to start. I'm not going to worry about that other shoe dropping because then you just talked about an amazing run. But let's see what happens over the next 3 weeks. Because if we end up going 1-2 over the next 3 weeks, then all that talk about not being able to beat the good teams would be, it's going to be hard to get rid of. But I don't see that happening. I have confidence that we're going to get at least one against Kansas City, and I'm assuming the Patriots win. I know I shouldn't do that, but I'm assuming the Patriots win. And then if you get one of the Eagles and the Chiefs, I think we're in pretty good shape, especially if they get this against the Chiefs.
Well, it's
I don't see us losing to the Patriots. I don't see it.
Yeah, me either. I don't
no.
know.
The one game, I mean, it's going to be a tough game. Is the Chiefs game? One, because it's over in Germany. Two, it's going to depend a lot. I mean, I know we have a ton of German Dolphin fans and stuff, and a lot of Dolphin fans over in UK and all that. But like all the other overseas games I watched, there hasn't been one side of fans or not, and they don't get loud like we do.
Right.
It's been, probably even there's such a mixture of fans. It's most of them are just there because they love football.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's kind of like a Super Bowl experience or whatever because it's just like a big game, a lot of neutral fans showing up. And no, we definitely got a break in the Kansas City game, not having to go into Arrowhead. We did. I'm surprised that the NFL put the game in Germany, just with Tyreek being on the team. That they could have had the story of Tyreek going back to Arrowhead. It would have been crazy stories for the whole week. But hey, as a Dolphin fan, I'd much rather be playing over. I'll be honest. I'm not going to lie. I'm much happier playing in Germany than going into Arrowhead, without a doubt. So,
well, and if I can say, I've been saying all season that this is going to be more like a home game for us. That the Dolphin community is worldwide. I can tell you from experience that there is tons of Dolphin fans in Europe, all over.
I agree.
We're gonna
for the most part, Pam, but talking with some of the heads of like the Germany club and other clubs over there,
mm-hmm.
They hardly got any tickets themselves for anybody.
Oh, you mean the tickets were hard to get, that kind of thing?
Well, it was sold out in 10 minutes.
Wow. Well, I know just from my stream.
And I understand that, but just as well as I do, all these scammers and people know how to get in there and buy all the tickets they want.
There's a lot of scammers out there on that one. I know.
They're in there buying up all the tickets, all the resellers. They have ways to set computers to multitask or whatever you want to call it, and buy all these tickets up because it was sold out in 10 minutes.
Oh, I know. That's the thing on the internet nowadays. Bots buy half of this stuff. And don't worry, Hooked Up Joe. I know you're still there and you want to chime in on the Kansas City game. Do you think the Dolphins got a break on playing in and escaping Arrowheads, Hooked Up Joe?
Yes. And I'm also glad that it's in Germany and not in London because it has a grass field in Germany. It might not be the best grass field in the world, but I'd rather play on bad grass than concrete with carpet over it any day of the week, especially with our guys on grass normally. It's just where we do good. So I think that it's just huge to be Germany instead of London.
Man, Joe, you're on fire this morning. That's a great point, too.
Yeah, no, it is. He is. Hooked Up Joe always brings his A game, just like Miss Finn's, where I found Hooked Up Joe the other morning, and it was cool. He was already a member here, but he now come to the show. So thank you, Hooked Up Joe. Michael K., I hope you know, yes, I'm not going to use what you use, but Hard Rock is, we sell out a lot. Now, whether fans show up or not, season tickets has a waiting list. So don't give me that, we can't fill up the stadium. But yes, our fan base is spread out. I'm one of the few rare person that was born and raised in the South Florida area and hasn't left that, and I'm 53, and I'm still here. But a lot of people have left over the years. We get a lot of snowbirds coming. Speaking of you New Yorkers, we get a lot of snowbirds coming in here and all of that. So yes, do we have that diehard maybe population in South Florida that we used to have for Dolphin fans? No, but Pam is 100% right. Worldwide, across the nation, just get on Dolphins Twitter. You would see people from all over that love the Dolphins. Some of the biggest names aren't even from South Florida that love the Dolphins.
I got people in my club from Nigeria, Ireland, Germany, UK, all over.
Yeah. So
I do too. It's not my club, but it's my stream. And
well, it's your club.
Yeah, thank you.
It's your club.
Yeah, and I had Dubai, Korea. I mean, just like Australia, Guam. I mean, Puerto Rico, just all over. And of course, the U.S. I just can't tell you how many
we're spread
people.
all over. I mean, one of the guys from the Fins Talk Sports Network's from Montreal, diehard Dolphins fan. So just because, but you're wrong though. We do have, and I'm going to ask you a season ticket question here in a moment, Paul, about your increase and what you think of it. But anyway, yeah, let me get to that. But anyway, guys, we have a waiting list. This might be my chance. Maybe some people won't want to. I'm hearing one rumor is the reason they upped their thing is because they found out people are just flipping their tickets for a profit. So they're, and that's why you see some empty seats because they ask, they make so much money on some tickets. They don't mind if the other ones go unsold because they've already made so much money.
Yeah. Some people are like that. And I don't agree with it. If I sell any tickets that I can't go to the game, I sell them for what I paid for them.
Right. Yeah, I know. So, what's your take though on the increase? I hear it's a big increase.
I guess it's the section you're sitting in and everything. I know some people aren't going to do quite a few people aren't going to do the sideline pass anymore because it's not worth it to them.
Right.
But my increase wasn't that bad. I mean, it's one less game this year, but all in all, I'm only paying about $220 more than what I was last year.
Okay, so that's not bad because, I don't know if you know Beard Manny. He's like the bearded fanatic. And
yeah, I know most of them, but I know some of them went up, but like $600 and stuff.
$1,400 combined because he was paying like $3,600, and now next year is $5,000. So it's like $1,400.
Well, I mean. Yeah, I don't know what all he's got and how many seats he's got and everything. I have two seats in the 300 level, but I'm right on the rail. And it was my parking. I feel like my parking went up more than my seats did, really.
Oh, man. How much are they charging you for the parking now?
Well, buying parking through the Rock is cheap compared to everybody else. I think it comes out to, $25 a game this year.
Okay, yeah, that's cheaper than,
Last year, I only paid $15 a game.
Oh, wow. Hey, Dad Dean, by the way. Good morning to you, Dad Dean, and Frederick Dunlap. All you guys. I don't ever mean to ignore you guys. But, hey, hooked up Joe. Speaking of worldwide, where are you hooked up, Joe?
I am normally in South Florida. I was in Palm Beach County. Born there.
So you're one of the. So, okay, that's good. So we do have some South Florida.
Yeah, I moved away for a little as a kid, but I've been back my whole adult life, which is a long time. So, and I just moved to Martin County, but I'm still in zone. So right now I had to come up to North Carolina, and what luck that was to be in the only other possible place to see the Carolina game. So
that worked out for you. So.
And hey, on that note, I'm going to end it. I'm going to leave, but I just wanted to finish one statement about that Carolina game. We went down 14-0. We were a little shocked, but I don't think many of us were feeling hopeless. And that's kind of the microcosm of the season. We're not going to win every single game. The next time we lose a game, we just got to treat it like that 14-0 down and just not flinch and not care and keep it going. You know, it's going to happen. And just I kind of saw the last game as a little bit of a microcosm of how the reaction can be a little bit, and micro analysis that we seem to do from game to game. But when we back up and see where we're at, where we're going, especially year to year for the long term, I'm not going to be fazed by any loss,
Yeah.
unless it's a loss of a player.
Right, yeah, that we all have to knock on wood for, sir. But thank you so much, Hooked Up Joe, and you did bring your A game, as Pam said. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
Well, thanks for being here. I try to mention it. You streamers make it, so we appreciate it and
no,
support all
we
can.
well, we wouldn't be streaming if it wasn't for fans like you. So
Exactly. Yes.
that's what makes it fun. So thank you, man. And if you haven't hooked up Joe, if you haven't found Papa Paul, find his channel.
I just subscribed. I found it. I had to hunt
All
it
right,
down.
perfect.
A little hard to find. You got to do Papa Paul Dolphins to find it, or post a link.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well,
Thanks again,
thank you.
thumbs up.
You will be
Yeah.
happy. They're really good fans over there, and Pam will make an appearance there quite often too. So it's awesome. All right.
Just-
well, Joe, with no further ado, go Dolphins, and
Fins up.
yeah, and fins up.
And and I,
Real-
I like that.
Real quick, I want to get Lewis. Is out saying $65 to park at Arrowhead. Well, honestly, if you're just going for one game and you got to get a ticket, it's going to be a minimum of $50 at Hard Rock. If you got to
I
buy
paid
it.
100 last year and 70 this year.
Yeah, well, it's because of the resale. People who are reselling yellow. Yeah, yellow is a minimum. Well, like me, I only sell my yellow for 50 if I'm not using yellow and stuff.
Right.
But it's a minimum of $125, $150 for orange parking most of the time when they're reselling them, which is still crazy because I know they're not paying near that much for it. I think that's some of the reason, like you said, why the prices are going up on everything because of the resale.
Yeah. No, that's it. A lot of resale. Unfortunately, that a lot of
Well,
people don't go to a game.
what's
What's
really-
the way they could like limit how many tickets you buy or something? So not
Really,
that
what's really
real
sad-
fans are buying them and not profiteers buying them.
What's really sad is that for the orange parking, there's people who don't even get orange parking passes, but don't even go to the game or anything. They're just getting orange parking passes to resell.
I know that's what I said. I wish it was some better system. I guess it's really not.
Well, they should have a system that if you're not a season ticket holder, you don't get any parking passes, plain and simple.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's it. That's what. No, I agree on that. That's what they should do, and definitely limit it to that. I pay like $30 a game, but I gotta walk like a mile to get to for parking. I was only paying $30 a game to go to the game. $30 for parking.
Yeah. We have definitely, as a fan group, been dealing with scammers.
Yeah.
Literal scammers. They don't have tickets, or they do, and they keep trying to sell the same ones.
Yeah.
And it's been going on. And I'll tell you what, if anybody knows who's doing these things, turn them in. Do something about it. Don't just let it go, because
no, for sure.
people are, real people are losing a lot of money. People who are trying to go to their first game ever. People who, the one gentleman in particular has survived a lung transplant, and his daughter's trying to buy it for him like a celebration. I mean, are you kidding me? We're going to take that man's money. And it's actually come around twice. So he went back trying to buy tickets to Tennessee game again, and the same thing. I think the scammers, they're probably, the same people and switching around names.
I know when you end up paying more, I stick to the StubHubs when I don't have, because I know at least on StubHub it's going to be verified. But yes, it's so a shame that you can't just trust like a guy anymore. Like, oh, hold on, Anthony, I would drop a link in a minute again. I dropped one if you go way back there. That's how they joined. But I get there. But yeah, I want to Scotty, you are 100% right. It used to be so. I used to always say, man, I go to a Dolphin game and get out so much easier when there's a lot more fans than I do go into the Marlins game when there's a lot less fans. But ever since he
Right.
made that racetrack, and I understand why, Ross is all about revenue and creating more, support and this and that. But that racetrack took away a lot of the parking because they used to have actually free parking on some officially team lots across the street. But they took
Exactly.
those free parking spots away because they don't have enough space now for all the parking they did with that racetrack and tennis courts and everything else they have in the stadium now. So it has made getting out of the games a lot harder. That is, I do find. Have you found the same thing, Paul? Getting out of your parking spot, or you're okay?
Mine, where I usually park, isn't too bad. But I don't go there right away. Yeah. Good morning, Fred. Sorry, I forgot to say that earlier. Good morning, Fred. How you doing, brother?
Both you and Pam. But thank you, Fred. And if you're new to the channel, Fred, here, tackle that subscribe button for me. But anyway, so you haven't found a big difference yet? Because I found on the spots I parked, it took a lot longer.
Well, I park in the same spot year after year. I am getting some orange passes this year because I'm selling stuff, shirts and patches and magnets and stuff. And I've just had better luck over in the orange than I did in the yellow. I parked straight across from East 12 and East 22 in the yellow right there.
Oh, okay.
And if you're in a hurry to get out, don't even bother because it's all goes down to basically 2 lanes going onto the turnpike and stuff that way.
No, I know.
But I take my
Yes.
time. I wait a few minutes after the game before I even leave the stadium, and I take my time walking, because I am disabled. And I stop and say, talk to some friends and things like that. And when I get over in my car, it takes me maybe 10 minutes at the most to get from the parking spot onto the turnpike.
Yeah, okay, that's not
Wow.
bad.
That's
good.
not bad.
Yeah, in lot 33, which is across this stadium, it's not that bad. I get out, but if I wait until game day and there's only one day, if you don't buy prepaid parking, there's only one lot, and oh my God, that's a night. That's what I did for the Broncos game. It's a nightmare getting out of there.
Yeah,
man.
I park in lot 13 with yellow parking all the time.
All right.
So I wanted to piggyback off a little bit of what Hooked on Joe had said about the team, and just I wanted to point out, how he was saying like we're gonna lose, and we gotta just roll with it, right? And not be all upset because we happen to lose again. So one thing, I heard a smattering of boos in the stadium when we went down 14-0. And I can tell you right now, if I see you booing, I'm going to tell you need to stop.
Well, I
don't like that.
I might have been getting a drink at the time or something. I don't remember, Pam. But was it right when they made the second touchdown or what?
I cannot honestly tell you exactly.
They could have just been booing at the Panthers for scoring.
Possibly.
But I agree with you. No, I agree with you because when the fans start booing at their own team, it's going to bring the whole team down.
Oh, I've never.
It doesn't accomplish anything. I'll boo a referee so fast they're a little ahead of spin.
Yeah, something like that. I've never.
Oh, yeah, we know you will, Miss.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Anthony, give me 1 minute, Anthony. But yeah, I boo too once in a while, but never at the team. I was at where Sammy Smith fumbled the ball a couple of times, and the whole stadium started saying Sammy sucks. I just thought that was like just I would never do something.
Yeah.
Like that.
What does it accomplish? Is my point. What does it accomplish?
It was like last year that the whole Jets stadium was booing their quarterback last year.
I know. To me,
this is Jets fans we're talking about. So, are you shocked, Paul? Really?
No,
Yeah.
I'm not. But my whole philosophy is I could never do that because you're not bringing down one player. You're bringing down the whole team.
Yeah.
And
No,
the
I agree.
crowd. And the crowd. It changes the whole atmosphere around, right? Like
Philly
the
fans are like that too.
atmosphere. Yes, yeah. Oh, they are bad. Yes, they are bad about that. But I think it accomplishes nothing. It changes you know how you can say I walked into a room and the atmosphere was really bad. It's not something you can take a picture of or you can put in your hand, but we all know what it is. And the atmosphere can
You
really
have a chill
change.
running up your spine all the time when like it feels like you're walking on eggshells, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But as fans, if we are there, we can help to change that atmosphere if it goes down. Just tell people around you, don't boo your team, man. Don't boo your team. That's what I tell them all the time.
This comment that I asked you to read, Rob.
Yeah, I know. I was
applies
going to
to
read it.
Yeah.
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 So, yeah.
Since I'm actually on, I can explain what I mean. It's not just scammers and secondary markets. It's actually the organizations in general that are trying to make the stadium more corporate and push out the everyday fan. It's a trend in all sports and stuff like that. So they're trying to eliminate they want to clean up the environment of the stadium so they can have more of the corporate fan instead of fans like us at the stadium. So it's a trend in sports in general that they're doing.
You're right,
like,
especially for
if
the
you
Super
look at the
Bowl.
statistics, the majority of the fans now I was reading an article talking about ticket sales. When you look at the ticket sales, the highest percentage of fans that are buying it are the corporate fans that have a ton of money. That's why you see the tickets are so expensive. It's not just the secondary market. It's the organizations in general hiking up the prices to push out fans like us that watch the team on TV all the time to bring in
And
more
that made
corporate.
them who they are. Well, it's fans, it's the everyday fans like us that made them who they are. It's almost like what you're saying is almost like the regentrification of football. Like what they do in
No, it's a
neighborhoods and big cities.
regentrification of sports in general, Pam, is what I've
Yes.
noticed.
Yes.
Which is
you're
a sad
right.
thing. You're eliminating you're eliminating the fans that have been loyal to you the whole time, even when the team was horrible, just because you don't want them ruining the environment for your sponsor, your corporate sponsors, and what is it called? The what is the term they call the people that work in the stock market? The Wall Street crowd and stuff like that, who are bringing a ton of money. When they're not spending money on merchandise, they're not spending money.
Right. No,
and stuff which pisses me off. Really.
Well, for years, Anthony, the Super Bowl has gone corporate. It's no longer about the hardcore fans of the team. It's a corporate event because like Pepsi and Coke and all these buys up hundreds of tickets for all their big wigs to go to the game.
Have you looked at do you watch baseball, Rob?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
So that's what's happening with the World Series and the NBA Finals too. When you look at the people who are buying the tickets, it's not everyday fans because the tickets are getting so expensive that everyday fans can't, fans who are on a budget can't afford to spend that much. You're basically paying $10,000 just to go to the Super Bowl, 10 to 20 grand, not on the tickets, but you have to buy a plane ticket if it's on the West Coast. You have to buy a hotel if it's in Vegas, which is going to be ridiculous.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. Oh, that's insane.
If I can point out as well, which I know you all know, the Dolphins Stadium cut the heart out of the stadium where the loudest fans would usually be, and they put those into seats, the big lazy boys practically, right? And you see that section is never full
It's
because
empty. 100%, Pam. I say that every game. It's like that was a bad mistake. I normally agree with Mr. Ross. He's done a lot of good things, but
Well,
that was a bad
do you,
move.
do
but
you
it's the heart
you're
of the
talking
stadium.
you're talking
Yeah.
about the 72 club there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you look, yes, the seats are empty, but most of those people are standing on the sideline down behind the bench.
Well, they're not the ones making, you don't hear the noise. That was
Yeah.
the heart of
I
the stadium. And the fans that were there,
See,
they were loud, and I
I,
saw a
I
few people there, but
no, there's
and this is I'm saying this, Paul. I'm not sure if you three agree because you've watched football longer than I have and stuff like that. I'm not calling you guys old. I just started watching Dolphins
I
recently.
think you are.
No, but it's harder. I think it's harder to filter. Like the stadium is so big. I think the Dolphins playing at the Orange Bowl because the stands were on top of the stadium and it was so intimate. It's easier to filter in the sound with how big Dolphin State Hard Rock is. You can't really do that. Like the stadium is so massive that it's not as intimate as as the Orange Bowl was. You guys agree?
it's true. It is true.
It is. I agree, Anthony. But the new renovated Hard Rock is better than when it was first, like the Joe Robbie or whatever. It has gotten
Yeah.
a little more intimate. But yeah, I mean, the Orange Bowl. It's always going to be the Orange Bowl. It's where I grew
And
up.
seems like, and I'm saying this, it seems like Stephen Ross is focusing more on making that an Hard Rock an entertainment facility. That's why it seems like he doesn't really care about the team. He's making it into more of an entertainment facility to host more concerts and getting more races for Formula One to race there every year. So it seems like he's focusing on that
well,
and not
he
spending too
is
much money on
because
the team.
point blank, it was noted that the weekend of the Formula One made more money than the whole season of football.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I read I think it was on that one weekend they made like $100 million. Just
Yeah. I mean,
That's big money
don't get me
around
wrong.
that.
I love the Orange Bowl. I love going to the Orange Bowl, but this stadium sits twice as many people.
Yeah.
You got to realize that, things have grown quite a bit everywhere. If we still were sitting in the Orange Bowl, it wouldn't be half as many people. It'd be a packed state house, yes, but you're only going to have like 30,000 instead of 60,000.
I love the Orange Bowl, but it was old and the bathrooms were bad, and it's just like it ran its course.
The Orange Bowl was basically like Oakland.
Yeah,
Oakland
like
Coliseum.
Oakland is. No, you are 100% right. It was like it had gotten to be a dump, unfortunately. And I love the Orange Bowl. I was there many, magical games to see the Dolphins, and I'm not even a diehard Hurricane fan.
I've been to football games at the Hard Rock. It seems like people, even when the even during the season, if you go to a game, people are not sitting in their seats. They're walking around. They have entertainment areas where people can watch the game on TV. People, even though they're at the stadium, they're watching it on TV. They're not sitting in their seats.
A lot of people do that. I think you see a lot of people at the game staring at their phone nowadays because everyone's playing either fantasy football or whatever. I don't know. All I know is that's when I put my phone away. I miss texts. I miss calls.
Why do you guys why do you guys think? Why is it that even I don't go to games a ton? Since you guys notice that more than I do, but why is that? Why is that so noticeable that people watch it on TV instead? They're at the stadium. They paid $100, $200, $300, even $400 for a ticket. Yet they're basically watching it on TV at the stadium. Why not? Why waste your money?
I'd like to
This,
answer that
all
actually.
right, Pam, go for it.
I have never in my life missed a play at the stadium. However, this last game, I went in almost the entire third quarter. I couldn't take that sun anymore. You
Oh,
know, like you get
you want?
older,
I was in the
you just
shade.
yes, I couldn't take it. So I did go inside and watch the game on one of the TVs, and I was the one that everybody could hear because I was screaming just like I was on my couch or in the stadium, but I couldn't take it. I needed a break from that heat. And I'm
Oh, well,
born and raised
this past
Floridian,
weekend,
but whew,
this past weekend, I mean, the sun was brutal this past weekend.
it was brutal. And I mean, it was not, it's October, it's not September, but it was so hot. I couldn't take it anymore.
Oh no, it
And
gets hot for sure. I was in the
yeah,
400 level, so I mean the
That's what I'm not
300
surprised.
level.
I don't get why Stephen Ross hasn't thought of putting shade over making it a little bit better. Like,
I'll tell you why right now.
Home field
I mean,
advantage.
yeah, well, it's home field advantage. If you notice, the sun is on the visitor side,
Yeah.
and
which is where we get a lot of our tickets, unfortunately.
Yeah.
it's literally as my wife calls it, the visitor side. The bench area is called the microwave.
Pam, you could hang up in the 300 area. I know. That's where I go. I
I'll
go
tell
to
you
the
what, I normally would, and so I went to fan weekend with NorCal, and he got the seats for us, right? So that was down
Oh yeah.
in the 100. I mean, it was just brutal down there. And before the game started, we were under the shade. And then when the sun started moving as the game started, there went the shade. When I was
Yeah.
sitting in the shade, I was fine. You know when I had the 300 seats? December 25th. When it was so stinking cold and I was in the shade and the wind is blowing through there. I mean, it was like, okay, night and day.
and Pam, this is I've said this on other panels, and people think I'm crazy. What hurts Miami for sports in general is we don't really have a traditional homegrown fan base because most of the people are transplants from New York, like up
Oh, yeah.
up north and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
they're bringing their fandom from their teams down here, so we don't really have a traditional fan. We have a lot of transient fans that are not really Dolphins fans.
No, you're right,
That's
Anthony.
the entire state of Florida is that way. I'm a
Well,
native. My husband's a native.
I know
I'm a
quite a few
sixth
people that have
generation
been.
native.
I know a
And
ton of people that's been Dolphins fans for 20, 30, 40 years or more. I myself is right at 50 years. So
No,
Yeah.
no,
Right.
I'm saying my generation, like most of the kids 38 and 30 and younger
Yes.
weren't really growing up Dolphins fans. They grew up as as fans from other
because
states and stuff like that.
they didn't follow their parents or their uncles or
I
something
know that's the problem.
because the
I
Miami Dolphins at the time was not a winning team.
No, I agree. I agree with you. And so many kids, because I just grew up being a Miami Dolphin fan. My kids had no choice but to. They wanted to roof over their head. They were going to be Miami Dolphin fan. But there's other
Yeah.
kids in the neighborhood that grew up along with my kids. They wear their Brady shirts, and they all, now he's an adult, and now I see him once in a while when he comes in.
A lot of
He's a
pain.
diehard
Down
Patriot
up here,
fan.
like and for me,
I'm sorry.
yeah, like I grew up in Miami, and the majority of the people that lived around me were either Patriots, Jets, Giants,
My Lord.
Eagles fans, and Packers fans and stuff like that. That's
people
what
are
I grew up around.
bandwagoning
I was
these
the only Dolphins fan in my neighborhood.
Well, I'm
Well,
happy
I mean,
you stuck through with us, Anthony. How old are you, Anthony?
33.
33. So yeah, You remember a couple? You remember maybe? Or no, you were really young when we won that one playoff. Shake Money's joining us here, right? I was just about to, but I can't leave. Hello, Shake Money.
What's going on?
Hey.
Hey, I'm on a quick break, so I'm not gonna stay long. I just wanted to say that I appreciate your show, and I agree with you 100%, Dolphins Thirsty. We should trade Christian Wilkins now. I agree.
Well, hey,
I knew that was
you
coming.
always said, I think that's more of a crypto take or whatever. But hey, I'm with
No,
you.
that's
I
a
like-
dig
I
at
do
me.
like Chris.
That's a dig at me, Dolphins Thirsty. He always says that. He'll say
No,
that
wait.
and then cut off so I can't reply.
Yeah, I know, but hey.
Well, he said pay. He said pay.
No, I
They
said no
did say
trade. I
pay
agree.
him.
You should trade him. I agree. You should trade him. Yeah.
Oh.
Trade him. Now he's saying trade. Okay, trade. Hey, whatever helps the team, right? Shake Money, whatever helps the team. But,
Exactly.
hey, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So what's your take? I would check your show out later. I'm sure you're somewhere today or somewhere over the weekend, Shake. But what's
Yeah,
your take on this game?
Yeah, I think again. I'm not too. I think it's a good statement game. But if I'm being honest, I'd rather lose this one and beat Kansas City. I'd rather win a division game. This is a non-conference, so you know what I mean. It's very rare that teams finish with 2 losses in the season. So
No, I agree with you. To me, if you're gonna have to, the next 3 games, if you can go 2-1, I want us to beat New England, even though it's not as sexy game as it is against the Eagles. But beat New England, beat Kansas City, and we're fat cats as far as I look at it as.
Yeah.
So,
But
you know.
if I have my way, we get them all, right?
Oh, of course,
if we all get our way.
Hey,
I agree 100%.
we just might get our way. You don't know.
Yeah, you don't
I'm
know.
hoping. I don't have doubts that we can. I have no doubts we can. Will we? I don't know. I sure hope so.
Well, as I always say, we just got to wait and see.
Hey, Martin. Hey, Martin. Thank you coming in from Facebook. Love trying to build that Facebook crowd. So thank you, Martin. Fins up to you.
Hey,
That's
Martin.
very similar. That's more or less my neighborhood. I see the game like a 31-28. I just keep on flipping on the team. I think.
I'm being honest. I don't know what it is. What we show up against the bad teams, but we seem not to like. I don't know what it is.
Well, I mean, you say that, but the Chargers were supposed to be, and they're still not. I mean, right now they're struggling, but their first game was a tough game.
Yeah, I know, and they could have beat the Cowboys if they had any life in them that game a little bit.
Yeah, no, and I blame.
And you know they have a top 5 offense. They have a top 5 offense.
Yeah, and you know what the sad part about it is? People are saying now they're saying Justin Herbert's overrated, forgetting the fact that this coach is an idiot. Like Staley is an idiot. I don't know how, and I blame that franchise is cheap when it comes to hiring coaches. That's how the Dolphins used to be. We would either promote from within or pay a coach super cheap. No rational head coach who like a Bill Belichick or a Sean Payton wouldn't want to go there because they're not going to give them the money to give them the power they want and stuff like that.
No,
really.
But you think about these teams. So when we were going into week 1, the Chargers are this and that. It wasn't until we beat them, that it's like, well, they've got some issues or whatever. And let's not forget, let's look at the Giants who did beat Buffalo. I don't care what that score said. That was a gift, a present.
They lost, Pam, but I wish they did. They should have.
Wait a minute.
Won that game.
If you didn't see that definite holding call
it
at
was
the
definitely
end,
a penalty, but I know. But I wish they had.
But
That would have been so
won
great.
They're becoming the Patriots.
Yep. They literally beat Buffalo. But because, we cook them, they're a terrible team. The narrative changes all the time after the Dolphins beat somebody.
Week it changed, and I know we're fans. We like to overreact. I try to be even keel, but Pam, you just said it. But the overreaction from week to week is like It's amazing, and that's why happily we're not running. Most fans aren't running organizations because they'd be firing.
Fan is
people
short for
after 10
fanatic.
games.
Fans take it to the extreme. What do you expect, Rob?
No, it's true. I mean, they would have fired McDaniel after the Buffalo game. Oh, he sucks.
Right.
He can't win the big game. Let's get rid of him. That's just how fans are.
Or they wanted to fire. They wanted to get rid of Evangelo as well.
Yeah. And no, you're right. They wanted to get rid of Fangio. That's every fan wanted Fangio since last year. We get Fangio, and then they're ready to fire him. So it's just, I find it funny how we just go from 1 week to the next. It's just,
Exactly.
let's do it week by week, and let's see how it goes.
And I guarantee you this, and mark my words, of October, whatever October this is, if we lose, I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of people, I told you Tua's not the answer. He chokes in big games, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Which is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
All the guys that are in hiding now will be out in full force Monday morning.
And this is why I hate football fans in general. Like, I understand the quarterback is getting paid the most money, but this is a team game. Why blame one player for the team not performing well and stuff like that? Like,
Because
I
that's
understand the
what fans
quarterback is the
do.
most important position, but when you look at it as a whole, when the team is not performing, it's not the quarterback's fault and stuff like that. When the defense is not performing up to par, why do you blame the quarterback?
No.
Like, I don't understand that line of thinking.
But we always give the quarterback
either.
too much praise and too much hate. That's just how when everything's going great, everyone wants the quarterback to be. It's all the quarterback.
And that's where I'm not understanding it.
Right. Dolphins thirsty.
And this is where I don't understand this line of thinking either. Is if Tua wins a Super Bowl, it feels like people are already forgetting about Marino. Like, I don't get that line of thinking.
Gosh, yes.
No, I would hope not. I would never. Dan Marino's always going to be Dan the Man to me.
Dan the Man.
Because he didn't win a
But I know
Super Bowl.
what he's saying.
That's the line of thinking. That's where I think that comes
I
from.
know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but Marino makes no sense because at the end of the day, if they want a Super Bowl winning quarterback, there's no, you can look further than Bob Greasy. He won 2 and an undefeated season.
Yeah,
There you go.
Right.
And nobody talks about him hardly. So that's a good point, Shake.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right.
Dude,
Let's just
that's
enjoy
who
our
I compare him and Bob. To me, Bob Greasy is a perfect example of a game. Him and Tua are the same way. They're not good at. They're good at one thing, but they're not like they have a decent arm, but they don't have a gun for an arm and stuff like that. And
I gotta disagree. Tua's got a gun for the arm because if you look, he's ranked in the top 10 as far as longest throws.
Hey, Fred.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining, Fred. I don't know who has a lot of background noise. It's not mine. I don't know. I hear some background noise.
That's not mine.
It might have been me. Might have been me, Rob. I'm taking out the garbage, man. There's cars right by, man. I'm sorry, man.
I thought you were filing papers, Fred. I thought you were filing papers.
I mean, if you look at actual air length on a ball thrown, Tua is like number 6 or 7 compared to all the other 32 quarterbacks. He's in the top 10.
Well, here's the thing. I think the difference between Marino and Tua is, Tua can have a gun for an arm if he uses proper body mechanics. Marino just flicks the wrist.
Marino just flicks the wrist and it's out.
The man, people forget Marino played baseball.
Yeah.
Like, that's the difference.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, Dan Marino definitely has the better arm. Justin Herbert has a better arm, but do you need really to have the better arm to be the better quarterback? Not necessarily.
No.
Joe Montana.
People underestimate how accurate Marino was too. He had a gun for an arm, but the man was deadly accurate too.
Oh, no, he was deadly accurate. But Dan Marino, Joe Montana didn't have a rocket arm, and Joe Montana won 4 Super Bowls.
Tua is all that.
To do it.
That's why people compare him to Drew Brees. Like,
I mean, that's
Hey, Rob, can I add a little something?
Yeah, go ahead, Fred, because we're almost at the end and you got here late. So thank you, and thank you all you guys in the chat room.
I got to head out, guys. I got work
All right,
I got to do. Peace,
All right.
love, and fins
All
up.
right.
Bye,
All right,
Papa.
Papa Paul. All right,
Later.
Papa
Thank
Paul.
you, Paul.
Yep.
Hey,
All right.
I'm also gonna head out, but before I do, I just want to
Don't
thank
say
you
it.
for having me. Thank you for having me on here. What are you talking about? I was just
You
I just
know.
want to I just want to say thank you
They're
for having
great
me on.
network.
I'm not. All I want to do is thank him for having on me here. I'm going to be on tonight
Well, thank you.
from 6 to 8
And I heard
open
Chase
panel.
back. There he is back.
Yeah, I'm gonna be here 6 to 8
Okay,
open
cool.
panel, and I'm looking forward to the game and trade with Christian Wilkins.
See, I told you.
All right.
See, you know what,
I know.
man? You know.
Anyway,
Uh,
all right, Fred.
Hey,
Fred, the floor is all yours. How are you
all right,
today?
thanks, Rob. Good, man. How about yourself?
Thank you. Can't complain.
Good, man. Thanks for having me on the panel, bro. Uh, my thing is, man, like, with Fangio, I have some little bit of issues with him, but however, I'm not ready to fire the man. It's
Right.
still early, Rob. Um, I just we seen how McDaniel did some things with the offense to whereas the personnel he has, it fits their what they can do. It fits what their game is, and he gets the best out of his players like that. I kind of think Fangio should try the same. You know, the same plan, like
it's
with
time,
good
right,
with
Fred?
your defense, what they're good at, and is what
Yeah.
to me is what it's been
100%.
for what it's been the last 2 years. That's getting after the quarterback instead of sitting back at times. If he would like implement that some more in the
I
defense,
agree.
man, some more in the
100%.
defense.
And then if you care for a couple of years, you start drafting to his philosophy and signing guys for his.
Exactly,
But right now,
Ex-
you got to go with what you have.
Good. Good point,
exactly,
Fred.
Rob.
And I
Exactly, man.
understand,
Exactly.
as we all get a little older, you get stubborn. He's probably stubborn. Well, this is the way I've been doing it for 30 years, 50 years or whatever,
Yeah,
So,
Rob, like I said, I'm not ready to fire the man yet,
yeah.
but who knows, man, maybe 3-4 weeks, down the line when things start to get tough, man, he sees what it is with these guys, what they're about, what they've been doing, man. Who knows? Maybe even next week,
Yeah.
man, he may even look at something and say, well, let me try this, man.
Yeah.
This is
No,
what
I
I got.
agree. We need to. And what surprised me is the Dolphins actually lead the league in quarterback hits and they're third in quarterback sacks.
Yeah,
Those
man,
numbers,
I
like,
checked. Hey, you know what, Rob? That is very quietly, man. You know what I'm saying?
I know,
Yeah.
Because
because
the games I've been watching, man, it didn't seem like that. So
I know, I agree. I agree. I
when
couldn't
I
believe when those
when
numbers
I
came
when
out. I'm
I
like, man, someone's watching the wrong team or something.
Right.
when I saw those numbers, Rob, I said, they just doing that Lions thing again. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
then I was like, I seen it again. I'm like, wait a minute, man. It must be true. But it's very quietly that
Yeah.
they're doing it, but loud or quiet, I'll take that, Rob.
And no, I will too. And I think it's
Yeah.
either like all or nothing. Maybe we really get pressure on sometimes, but then other days you feel like the quarterback has time to wave to his mom in the audience,
Yeah. Like you want to
Yes,
rewind it, like you want to rewind the television, man, and be like, wait a minute, did I just miss something or something?
I know. So
But
it's just like, man. So
it's a
it's
cool
just
thing.
crazy.
It's a cool
I
thing, man.
believe that is from the fact that we are like you said, Dolphins thirsty, waiting for the shoe to drop. Like we are like, oh
We're fit.
no, they didn't get that. Like we are just on edge because it's always gone wrong for us. But this season it's going right. And even when it's going right, we're still like, yeah, but
Yeah.
so
And then, not to cut you off, Pam, that's where I am this week, man. Like instead of sit back on Philadelphia, wait for them to do, what I mean, go out there and make Hurts have to make quicker decisions than he wants to, and just what I mean.
Yeah, no, I know. You saw what he did against the Jets. The Jets got him to
Yeah,
force him into mistakes. You can't let
yeah,
him. I agree 100%,
yeah,
Fred.
yeah.
Whether
Thanks,
that's
Rob. Thanks, Rob.
whether this comes from a natural pass rush or do we have to create it? That's the
Yeah,
difference. But you
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
at least mix it up, like you said. So, and I'm with
Oh,
you,
well,
Dad Dean, by the way. I think the Patriots could give the Bills a tough loss this week. I mean, a tough game this week, not maybe a
yeah,
loss, but
tough
anyway,
game.
I just want to throw a little shade at Michael K. He's a Buffalo Bill fans that come here all the time. But he's good, man. I like I said, I like anyone's eyeballs to come into the
Yeah,
game.
I like Michael K too, man. I like him. I like him. I like him too, man.
Yeah, so but yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. So, but what's your thought, Fred? I don't know what's your thoughts going into this Sunday night primetime affair with the Philadelphia Eagles in
Uh,
Philadelphia?
my thoughts are, man. With with me is I think McDaniels just needs to uh, just come with some real good play calling, man. Really have the Eagles off balance on defense. That's where helps out our offensive line a lot. They won't have to block as much, man. Just keep these guys thinking, and that's all. That's it's with it, man. Just keep them off balance and
No, I
score
agree.
points on them, man.
No, I
And
agree,
play,
and that's what
yeah,
it's gonna be good to see if our offense can keep this show rolling against some of the better
yeah,
defenses. And I
yeah,
know
man.
the Eagles are important. I'm happy. I never want anyone hurt, but of course, it was like when they played the Jets, everyone's out. We're getting all their healthy players back, which I want everyone healthy, so that's fine. But man,
Yeah,
we get no breaks. It looked like Carter and all these guys, Slay, are all going to be back against the Dolphins.
yeah,
So it's
yeah, man.
it's going to be a good test of our offensive seed because a lot of
It
people are
will,
saying, "Oh yeah, the one time they played the tough defense, they kind of just laid down after the first couple quick
yeah, man.
scores." But I do believe that if you look at the stats and everything in that Buffalo game, it's not the blowout that everyone would suggest. We were very close. We just couldn't get the ball into the end zone that game, and we
Right,
did
right.
Yeah.
turnover.
It
So
it it,
And
it looks the score looks worse than what the game was for sure.
yeah, no, but
hey, we just have to look at it, Rob. Man, the Bills really wanted that game, and it tied them for
The
first place,
referees
man.
wanted them to have it.
They were at home, man. They just came with more energy than we did that week, man. That's
oh
all.
no, they did, and kudos to them. They beat our butt, and that's football, man.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the season, there was no banners given to Buffalo for beating us that week.
But that's behind us, Rob. But that's
Right.
behind us, man, and nothing but
Yeah,
forward, man.
yeah, no, I agree.
Right.
In New
And
Finland, you're right. I don't know why everyone dismissed the Chargers. The Chargers are not a bad team. Yes, their record, they show they got a losing record. But if they beat us, then they don't have a losing record. So the whole scenario, because they're 2-3, I think, because they already had their off
Yeah,
week, I believe, or something like that. So it's just
yeah,
to me, the Chargers are not a bad team. They just find a way to lose at the end all the time. But they had Dallas they could have beat the other day, So
oh
it's just
yeah.
yeah,
So to me, the Chargers was a good team, and I don't want to see like the Kansas City fans saying the Chargers aren't, because there's a good chance the Chargers could beat the Chiefs.
Could beat Kansas City. That's right.
yeah.
That's absolutely right.
So that's why I would say. So let's just see. That's why I love, because everyone's like, yeah, all these Bills fans. Granted, the Bills did win, unfortunately, Pam, against the Giants. But everyone's like,
Yes.
oh, the Dolphins only beat the Giants, but we beat the Giants. You
Right,
guys,
We
right.
by the
exactly
grace of God,
survived. Right.
you
Right.
survived the Giants because of maybe some missed call, and the Giants just not being that great, on offense and down there on the 1 yard line when they were pounding the ball with Barkley
Yeah,
at one point. Why not go with your horse? I don't know, but hey, it is what it is.
I
Hey,
know. Oh gosh.
right,
Yes.
right.
so
They
hey,
should
but
be.
that's why I love when everyone laughed at the teams we're playing. Don't laugh until they're off your schedule and you smack them. Then you can say it. But until your
Right,
team
right.
plays and it's funny. Oh, you're only beating this team. Well, let's see when your team faces that same team how you
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
Right.
So that's
Exactly.
what. And like Pam said, we're beating the teams we're supposed to beat, but we're beating them. It's not like years
right.
past where we were saying, "Oh, a win's a win. We won 17-14 in a game. We were favored by 14, but we won. Who cares?" We're beating them. I'm not a gambler, but we're covering the spread most of these weeks. Even when we got double-digit expectations, we're covering it, and
Yes.
we're doing what we need to do, leaving very little in doubt. So I like it. It's a fun ride so far, guys.
It is. It is. And
Yeah.
I think the key to the game this Sunday is to use as many weapons as possible. Keep them off kilter at every second, because When we have done that, when we have used Barrios, when we have used Ingold, when we have used Smythe, you know, they're just like, whoa. And that opens up stuff for our fabulous top receivers and running backs,
No,
right? I mean,
100%. Because if there's any knock on Tua this year, I think maybe he gets a little too dependent on Tyreek Hill at times, looking for him only and throw into a crowd trying to sneak him in the ball. So if you
yeah,
spread it around, like you said, Pam, that just opens up everything else, and we'll get Hill open more because then teams do have to worry about other things. So I mean, Hill's going to get his no matter what. Just don't
of
have to
course.
force it to him at times. So
Well, he
You're
does
right
the
about
right
that, Rob,
thing.
man. You're right about that.
yeah,
Because every time I look up, man, these tight ends, man, are so wide open, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah,
I know Tyreek has to do his thing. Tyreek
yeah.
and Tua, I know that, but you know, McDaniel be like, look, Tua, your tight end, man. He is open on plays, man. And we'll
Yeah.
see, man. We'll
and he,
see. We'll see.
Yeah, I think
when
he
he
would.
gets the ball, he comes down with it. You know, like Smythe is unbelievable, and so is Ingold. I
Yeah.
want to see him used a little more. Some of the blocks that Ingold is
Oh
making.
man, no,
I
he's been
mean,
blocking
good
like crazy.
grief!
Uh,
Wow,
and
he's opened up
Pam,
plays.
Engel's blocking 300-pound tackles, man. If you notice that,
Yes,
man,
No, he's
yes,
and you
crazy.
have to have a serious mind thing, man, to want to even want to think about wanting to block that guy and block him right. You know what I mean? And so
No,
yeah,
shout out to Engel,
again
man.
and again.
Shout out to Smite. Shout out to
Yeah,
Yes,
Smite, Engel,
and Julian
Hill,
Hill, who's a
Hill.
rookie.
Yeah,
yes,
you're right. You're
yes.
right,
Julian
Rob.
Hill
Dolphins
is
This
just so
thirsty.
guy's
nice, Scotty.
he,
Yeah,
he's laying some serious blocks, man. Julian Hill, man. I seen a lot of A-chain runs, Mostert runs, and it's all because of I'm not going to say all because of, but Julian's Hills have been a big part in that long run. You know what I mean, Rob? Man,
yeah,
I be
no,
checking him out.
Absolutely.
no, yeah, no, he is. And another guy that was blocking well before he got hurt was the Chris Brooks rookie, another rookie running back that was actually laying some number out there too on defensive tackles.
Oh
So I mean,
yeah,
it's been impressive with what we've done, what we've gotten from our rookies. I mean, some of them undrafted
Yeah,
out there playing on an NFL level. It's amazing. It's been a good run so far. So,
a good point.
and like I say, if this Dolphins team can play like you're playing, get Ramsey back in a couple weeks. We may have
Awesome.
Ramsey back by the Kansas City game, is what some people are. And then some people are saying, no, it's going to be after the bye. But some people are saying that they think Ramsey might be able to go by the Kansas City. Now, what Ramsey are we going to get? It may not be the prime Ramsey. I'm not talking about prime, like
right.
in the prime days, but like the prime Ramsey that we are going to get, that may be coming in a few weeks because he has to get some rust off, get used to the system. But it's going to be he's a benefit coming back. Nick Needham hopefully comes back, so we do have some maybe defense reinforcements
And
coming back.
see, that's a
Right.
huge point about Ramsey because when you figure when the defensive coordinator is trying to, work his system in the beginning of the season, it included Ramsey, right? Like
Right.
when before the season, that's what it included. And we don't know what a part, maybe a fairly large part, I would assume, that
Yeah.
he would have in that defense. So, it had to change when, he had to adapt to that. The
Right.
players are having to learn a very intricate system, and what we have seen is a methodical improvement by the defense
No, we
week
have.
after week.
Yeah,
And,
other
and
than
you,
the
you know,
Bills game, really, they've stepped up. They. So let's just see this week. This is going to be a good test, like we said
yeah,
this week,
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
where we stand defensively, because I do believe we will put up points on Sunday night. We're going to see what our defense does.
Right,
Hey,
right.
Rob, I just wanted to say thanks for having me on the show, man. I
No,
had
thank
a
you,
blast,
man.
man.
Yeah.
Miss
Hey, I
Pam,
appreciate it.
it's
Thanks
always a
for
pleasure, Miss Pam.
yeah,
Rob,
always good.
Yes, Fred.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
ahead and cut out now. and
All right. Well, I'm about to close out my show too, so it's great. But thank you, Fred. You're always welcome here. I hope you come back now that you found some.
I'll definitely be back, Rob. Definitely be back, man. And thanks again, bro.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Bye, Fred.
Bye,
Fred. Later. All right, Pam. So it's just you and I'm going to close out. So any final thoughts for not just this next week, but the next 3 weeks, including the Patriots game? What are your thoughts? What would you like? Obviously 3-0, but would you be happy with 2-1?
Sure. Of course.
I would be happy
it's
with
like
2-1.
Yeah, it's like you said, the more significant game to us is the Kansas City game.
Right.
Definitely more significant when it comes down to what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
But boy, I would love to get all 3 of those, and I believe we can. It's it's not my Homer hat and my aqua and orange color glasses. It's looking for real what I see on the field. We have an opportunity, and I believe we can accomplish it. We got to go out there and get her done.
Sahar, thank you so much. Yes, Pam, too. I try to go on at least 3 times a week, like Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 a.m. And then I do a pregame on Sundays at 10 a.m. with another co-host. And I sometimes have a co-host here, but it's hard because we all do different shift work in different hours and different things. So 10 a.m. is not for everyone, but I appreciate you coming in here. So thank you so much. But I try to be on at 10 a.m. and I would love if you tackle that subscribe button. Then, hopefully you would see me pop up in your areas and all that. So
yeah, and hit the notification button as well. You'll get a notification when it pops up.
Yeah,
that's super handy.
Thank you, Pam. I knew I had you on here for a reason, Pam. Well, like I said, Pam, once again, not to beat a dead horse, but it was great meeting you. I almost walked by you and I go, I know her, but where do I know that face? Where do I know that? I go, oh my God, that's Pam. That's where I know that face. But it took me half a second. I took like a half step past you, and then I turned around and I said, Pam?
Yes, that was so fun. I enjoyed meeting you so much. You're such a nice person. Those piercing blue eyes in person, they're pretty blue eyes. If y'all haven't met him in person, he's a wonderful. He is exactly what you see on his show.
Well, thank you. And same to you. Same to you. It's exactly what you see here. Just good person, having fun, enjoying our team. And, it's great. But Pam, it was awesome. I'm going to close out. I went way longer than I even thought. I normally go like an hour. I got so many people in here. We went an hour and a half. So that's awesome.
Nice.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you, everyone. Fins up to everyone. Have a great day and go Dolphins. And see you Sunday morning in my show.
Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, man, he knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you want to know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost